Welcome to this new video. I'm Ricardus, a musicus practicus. This video is the first video of a new format which name is subject and answer, like a question and answers, but with the terms of the fugue, subject and answer. In this video I'd like reply to John, who is my patron. In fact, I have a personal patron where you can support my activity helping me creating new videos and where you can get your benefits. For example, you can download with the Brevis membership all the PDFs of all my videos. Before starting, I remember you to subscribe this channel if you like these contents about early music and to follow me on all my social like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook and to join my Telegram channel. So let's start with the reply to John. John writes to me, "Excellent video, thanks. From comments of other guitar players, I gather that on guitar, the highest voice should follow the rules as given. Then the inner voices should be filled in or not according to the ability of the guitarist, the technical limitations of the guitar, and what is idiomatic to the instrument. Any thought? Also, I suppose I should practice the rule of the octave on violin and viola better, with similar caveats and perhaps an arpeggiated approach, like Bach's unaccompanied cello suites, keeping in mind technical difficulties. Any thought? I guess the rule of the octave is possible on monophonic instruments, through arpeggiation or the usual process of playing harmonic music in one voice. Yes, I reply you first that the rule of the octave is obviously possible on monophonic instruments. The fact is that we have to don't confuse the meaning of voice and the meaning of part. When you play, for example, a violin or a viola, you are playing the part of the violin and the part of the viola. But in the part of the violin can be without any problem the polyphony. As you can see, in Bach's cello suites, the polyphony is like a fake polyphony, because when I have a big number of arpeggio, in Baroque music many times happens that all these arpeggios are created by a polyphonic contest that is played by arpeggios. For example, a practical exercise. Let's now see the rule of the octave at the keyboard in the first position, and then let's try to apply the figure of the first Bach cello suite at the rule of the octave in G major. Well, the second question that John writes to me is, did the theorists of the past give the rule of the octave for modes other than major and minor, which might require a vast knowledge of every treatise up to 19th century? I guess not a fair question. The fact is that the rule of the octave has been written down when all the modal approach and the modal theory of composition was already going to the tonal approach. It means that, for example, in the first, in the second, in the third and in all other modes, when there was a cadence, the spread use of the sharps started to make all started to transform all this modal music into a tonal music. So all the modes of the Renaissance tradition has been transformed in specific keys. For example, the first tone became D minor, the second tone became G minor, the sixth tone became F major, for example. So the creation of a standard rule of the octave comes from this period. Another important element of the necessity to write down a standard rule of the octave is the practice to play the organ upon a part, usually the part of the bass, but it can be without problems the lower part of a motet, for example. You can find an early practice to play the organ upon a part in Li primi albori musicali of Lorenzo Penna, where in the last part of his book he explains how to play the organ upon a part. As you can see, it is like an early attempt to transform what is written down in a partitura in a system of numbers that the organist can play without reading the complete partitura. In conclusion, the union of the practice to play the organ upon a part and the spread use of sharps in cadences brought to a tonalization of all the modes. For that reason, we find the first attempts to build a basic rule of the octave in the 17th century, that is the century of this passage between the modal system to the tonal one. So when we think, for example, to a rule of the octave in the first tone, we have to think to the rule of the octave in D minor, because the first tone in the 17th century is like D minor. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that my reply has been short and complete at the same time. Another big thank to John to support me on my Patreon, and everyone who wants to support my activity to watch more videos and to download all the PDFs and material that I post on my YouTube channel can do that subscribing a Semi-Brevis membership on my Patreon page. You find all the links in the description of this video. I thank you another time and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!